Bill Browder, I'm honored he's with us, is the founder and CEO of Hermitage Capital Management. He became a political activist and one of the Kremlin's biggest enemies after his tax lawyer was tortured and later died in a Moscow prison. Browder's advocacy has led to the passage of the Magnitsky Act in dozens of countries, which imposes sanctions on Russian oligarchs and those close to Putin himself. His newest book, Freezing Order, a true story of money laundering, murder, and surviving Vladimir Putin's wrath, is in stores tomorrow. Bill, thank you for joining us tonight. Someone you know very well, Russian opposition activist Vladimir Kara-Murza has reportedly been detained yesterday. I want to share with you what he told us on this show just a couple weeks ago. Watch this.
This is not only about restoring international stability and restoring peace in the middle of Europe, but it is also about saving our own country, saving Russia from this paranoid, deranged, and dangerous strongman.
Our own Ali Velshi spoke to him yesterday. How significant is this potential arrest?
Well, it's hugely significant. Vladimir Kara-Murza is one of the major voices criticizing Putin from within Russia. Almost everyone else is scared to do that. He's trying to show that they should all do that. And now being arrested is a very scary thing. And we know that bad things happen to people, enemies of the Putin regime who are arrested. And so I have big fears for what may come next.
The power of Putin's wrath is now on the world stage. You know firsthand what it's like to be targeted by him, not during a wartime.
Yep.
Given where he is now, how concerned are you?
It's terribly concerning. You know, I was actually having dinner with Vladimir Kara-Murza 2 weeks ago when he was in London. He was on his way to Russia, and I begged him not to go. And he said, I have to go because if I'm asking the people of Russia to stand up to Putin, how can I be afraid to go? And I said, it's a war. We're at war with them. There's nothing that anyone can do if you are arrested, if they decide to go after you. But he chose to go. And it says a lot about him as a brave individual, but it's also extremely scary for those of us who know him and care about him.
Another Putin expert like you, Fiona Hill, told the New York Times that American presidents, from George Bush to Barack Obama, never fully understood who Putin was or what he's capable of. Do you agree with that assessment? And if so, are we now facing the consequences of that today?
I completely agree with that. So you had George Bush, he said he looked Putin in the eyes and saw his soul. You had President Obama, who said we need to reset relations. We had Trump, who said Putin is a good guy. And here we are. And by the way, all of these presidents looked the other way when Putin did terrible stuff. Putin invaded Georgia, no consequence. He took Crimea, no serious consequence. He bombed civilians in Syria, no consequence. Poisoned using Novichok in England, no consequence. And Putin got to think he could do anything, no consequence. And so if there had been consequences before, I don't think we would be in this situation right now.
What do you think about what we're doing now?
Well, it's too little, too late. Once Putin gets started on these things, he can't back down. He has no reverse gear. He doesn't know compromise. He has to show strength. And so we're in a battle to the end. Either he gets defeated by the Ukrainians or he wins and he ends up coming for us next in Estonia with NATO or Poland or something like that.
Then if you were advising President Biden, if you were advising NATO, what should we do right now?
What we should do is give the Ukrainians everything they ask for. More military equipment.
They want a no-fly zone.
Yes, and they should give a no-fly zone. A no-fly zone.
Even if that escalates this into a World War III type scenario?
We are in a World War III type scenario. If we tell Putin we want to back down because we're so afraid of a World War III type of scenario, then he will continue to threaten until we are in a World War III type scenario. Putin is he only understands strength, and we have to demonstrate strength.
In your new book, you write this about him, quote, the Magnitsky Act put all of his wealth and power at risk. That made him a very angry man. His crusade against the Magnitsky Act wasn't just philosophical, it was personal. We had genuinely hit Vladimir Putin's Achilles heel. Explain then how all of these sanctions are hurting him, and even the Magnitsky Act. Putin has become one of the richest men in the entire world.
So he is the richest man in the world. He's stolen an enormous amount of money from the Russian people, and that money is held by oligarchs in the West. And so as we look at this war and we say, how do we stop him? one of the ways we can stop him is by cutting off his supply of money. And how do we do that? We freeze the central bank reserves. We freeze his offshore money by going after the oligarchs. And the third thing we have to do is stop buying his oil and gas. And that's something for the Europeans, because every day we send him $1 billion to fund his war with Ukraine by buying his oil and gas.
Ben, let me ask you about the sanctions overall. Do you think we're really punishing Putin or the oligarchs, or have they had plenty of time to figure out where to squirrel their money away so we're not even touching their wealth? I mean, to sanction his daughters last Friday, I'm pretty sure over the course of the last 7 weeks, they figured out where to hide their dough.
Well, there's no question that they've hidden their dough, but the key is to go after the oligarchs. The oligarchs are the rich ones. They're the sort of they're the corporate-sized individuals. And the moment you sanction them, even if they've hidden their money away, they can't move it around. No bank will accept their money. No, they can't transact. It becomes like the bloodstream where the blood stops pumping. You put them on the sanctions list, it's devastating. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Are they feeling pain yet?
Oh, my God, are they feeling pain? Serious pain. This is a good thing. We should do more of it. We've only sanctioned about 24 of these guys. We should go for the full 100.
All right, then. Bill, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bill Browder, again, his new book is called Freezing Order, a true story of money laundering, murder, and surviving Vladimir Putin's wrath.